I'd like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners regular meeting for March 22, 2023. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Lees. Commissioner Zimmerman.
Here.
I would like to ask Ralph Harvey, if he is there, he is, Ralph, owner of the historic Harvey property, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening, if you would. For those of you who were not at our last meeting, Ralph has a historic property that we're going to take action on tonight in a good way with regard to an agricultural security area designation. And he gave us a great summary at the last meeting, and tonight we are going to be, I suspect we're going to be happy to move forward with that. So more to come in just a few minutes. Ralph, thanks for leading us in the pledge. Okay, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. All in favor of moving ahead with the agenda before you, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Consent items, is there a motion to move the consent items into the record?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. Those consent items are the Board of Commissioners regular meeting minutes of February 22, the Board of Commissioners workshop meeting minutes of March 8, the Treasurer's report for the month of March, and the bills payable. Paid bills in the amount of $4,487, and unpaid bills in the amount of $538,418.66. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of moving those into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That can be moved into the record. Citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments on agenda items? All right, we're going to move to our 3 action items. We do not have a lengthy meeting tonight. As I mentioned earlier, Ralph gave us a great description with pictures. If those of you who are interested, it is a great video to watch. You can watch the video about the property itself. And that is our first action item, which is Resolution 23-04. Is there a motion for approval with regard to the property located at 2550 Line Lexington Road to receive the agricultural security designation?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. Any questions or comments? Other than, Ralph, we were all, after the meeting, we were talking about your presentation and the property, and tonight, as we walked in the door, we were talking about your presentation and the property, and we greatly appreciate not only what you shared with us, but what you're doing with the property and preserving it for generations to come. All right. Hearing and seeing no questions, I will call the question. All in favor of Resolution 23-04, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Congratulations, Ralph. To you and to your whole family. Okay. Bid results. Is there a motion to approve the bids that are listed in the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. The bids are pretty self-explanatory. Aaron, I'm not sure if you want to jump in and give us just a summary of this.
Happy to. Thanks, Mr. President. I do have a few slides just to give us a visual on where these roads are. Some notes before the board approves. Some good news, and I think maybe a good trend, hopefully, for when it comes to inflation and other economic news. But all of our energy prices are down somewhat significantly from last year's bids. However, chemicals for the Aquatic Center are up about 33%. And just one thing, commissioners, just to be aware of, the 525,000 is a very large number. Chemicals for all of the municipalities that participate in the consortium. We bid on half for all of them to get a favorable price. We've been doing that. We coordinated that years ago. Roughly 60,000 of those chemicals is for the Hatfield Aquatic Center. We don't spend $500,000 on it. That would be a very clean facility, but it is clean enough, trust me. So regarding roads, these are the roads that we paved in 2023. Cindy Lane, Creek Road, Georgia Lane, Woodstream, Meadow, Walnut from Lenhart to 309, and the Fricks Trail. On where these are, off of Cowpath and Orvilla for the Cindy Creek Cabin in Georgia. Woodstream off of School Road. I think most people are familiar. Stretch, Lenhart to 309, and then the Fricks Trail, which I would hope a lot of people are familiar with. And one of the reasons and the thought behind paving Fricks Trail was based on a lot of the feedback we got from residents over the years, especially moms and strollers that were struggling to get through the trail, bikers that were struggling to bike safely through the trail, some of the maintenance issues our public works teams would have after storms, and a few other reasons. We certainly heard from people on both sides, but primarily from those that were asking and requesting for years for it to be thankfully in a position to be able to do that here in 2023. Just wanted to point out too, the roads being paved, the commissioners invested the $450,000 from the general fund back in 2013 and have committed even more this year, $500 from the general fund. Township invests roughly $850,000 now every year into improving the infrastructure in Hatfield, and I believe the residents have seen that. It's pretty obvious when you drive through the township compared to some other towns, the commitment the commissioners have made over the years, and we'll continue to do that. We're getting close to the 15th year of the program with a commitment every road in Hatfield. We're certainly close to that, or at least every road that has needed it has been addressed. And so we'll continue to keep up on that investment, thanks to the commissioners and parent to the residents. And with the paving of Fricks Trail too, it creates a really nice connection, all paved. And we're also working on the Liberty Bell Trail that we'll talk about more, but we're gonna have a lot of trail networks throughout Hatfield connecting to other municipalities that the commissioner done a great job of improving over the years. We're in a good position. The bids came in under what we projected, and we'll be able to accomplish all this year.
So I was going to ask, we're still reasonably on schedule on the 15-year plan. I guess we're a couple of years away from completing it. I put that in air quotes. We probably should take a fresh look at it for a new plan sometime in the next year.
Sure.
And then probably, after 15 years, it's probably the same roads, but maybe in a different order based on needs. So
Exactly.
we'll likely be talking about that in the next, like I said, year or so.
Correct.
Sound
Thank
about
you.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of the motion to approve the bids listed in the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Our last action item tonight, again, rather a short meeting, is a motion to appoint McMahon, a Bowman company, as the traffic engineer. It's really a reappointment as required by a recent grant award. Is there such a motion? Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. Aaron, if you want to mention this, walk us through this one briefly.
Sure, yeah. The good thing is that McMahon was able to secure funding, this one specifically for some traffic intersection improvements. The bad news for McMahon is that PennDOT, part of the funding requires municipalities then to go through an open process to then make a public appointment for a traffic consultant, which we did. We started in the fall and requested proposals, received two. And then with a committee led by President Zipfel and Vice President Rogers and our Assistant Manager Scott, we reviewed those proposals and highly recommending to the board to continue our appointment and relationship with McMahon. And timing-wise, Commissioner Andrus did a great job at the last meeting in his finance report talking about the grant success, specifically with our lead person at McMahon, which is Anton, who's brought in now over $10 million in the township in roughly 10 years. I think the performance speaks for themselves. Due to their success, we had to go through this process, but the appointment makes a lot of sense, and we hope to continue this relationship. Coming into Hatfield for a lot of really worthy and needed public improvements.
It's extraordinary what's been done by the organization. Thank you for all of that, and Anton, and he's not here. Stellar credit as well. So very happy to make that reappointment. So, all right. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Okay. That is our brief meeting for this evening, unless there's any citizens' comments on non-agenda items. Right. Anything else from commissioners for the good of the cause? Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thanks for coming out, folks.